The Escape Pod.
I'm Timmy Taco.
I'm Sean Enough.
And I'm Jezbot, returning to Turnstile Records presents The Escape Pod for another exciting episode. Did it.
Will it be exciting?
I hope so.
Okay.
Let's see what we got. Let's find out.
Aim for the stars and you'll land on the moon, Jez. That's what they say.
It's beautiful.
Can I say that my dog ate my homework?
Yeah, well, you can do all the post-production, so
Okay.
you don't need any
You're the only one that
notes.
does any homework about this
Yeah,
show.
that's it.
Sean and I have some notes, so we should be right. You're in good hands today, Tim, and listeners.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Hands.
We're recording another day session.
Yeah,
it's
right
like,
in the middle of the day.
It's like none of us have jobs.
It's almost like
Yeah.
that. Well, it's too hot to work, isn't it? The union rule?
Yeah, I got
30.
cooled off.
Heated off.
Heated off.
37.
off.
Then
Oh,
it-
boys,
36
heat it
and
off.
a half, you're out of there.
That reminds me of It's Hotting Up. I don't like It's Hotting Up, and I don't like what you just said.
Mm.
No.
Heated off.
Yeah.
Yeah, heat it
tell
off,
you what,
hotting up.
There are no two more beautiful words in the English dictionary than heated off.
Okay.
I'll
yeah.
tell you what, when you hear those words, all right, boys, you heated off.
I know one. Rained off.
Rained off.
Rained off's good, but then you go home and sit home in the rain. When you heated off, you go to the beach.
Doesn't
see
the
that.
union guy come around with a pad, and if he gets 4 drops on his page, kind of like
Yeah.
license to drive with Corey Haim, if the coffee cup falls off the dashboard, he loses his license.
That's right.
Yeah.
But if
No,
they
it
get
doesn't
4
work
drops
like
on
that
the
anymore. There's
Yeah.
much stricter rules. Much
Yeah.
stricter
I
rules.
think it was
Bloody hell.
the Herald Sun opened up on the top floor, and then if that entire piece of newspaper gets like 40 drops over 30 seconds, call it off, boys. Really
Yeah.
scientific.
I think the old wives' tale is that was a tally ho. 3 drops on a tally ho,
Okay,
and it's off you go.
that's probably better.
3 drops in a tally-ho.
And
Yeah.
off you go.
And off you go.
Another site I worked on was an old digger on the site, and he had this contraption, and this is around summertime, so we're looking at getting heated off. And like by standard, you go by the closest local weather gauge, and if your local area is experiencing the temperatures that are worthy of getting heated off, then you go home.
Go.
But this guy had this contraption that overruled because this was this little thermometer, and I had a drink bottle with water, and he'd come past me like, pinch a bit of water in your bottle, baby, digger. I'd be like, yeah, no worries, mate.
Yeah,
He'd
okay.
sip a little bit of water into his thing, and he'd whoosh it around and wait for the water to reach temperature, and then he'd be like, about 20 minutes.
Ah.
In the system.
Yeah,
So is that like when
Excellent.
you're trying to get out of school and you get the thermometer and you stick it under your armpit, or you
Yeah,
you
stick it
try
under
to
your mouth.
you
So
rub
you
it,
could-
you rub
yeah.
it, rub it.
You could skew the data. I don't know if he was at it. I don't know if he was attempting to do so. Like, I've never seen anything like it since, though. Like, it was it must have been a really accurate temperature gauge where everybody was just like, nah, the oldest dude you've ever seen with the craziest looking temperatures just told us it's that temperature. We're all gonna
We're all out.
we're
We're out,
taking that
boys.
for word.
Yeah, I think it's one of those.
We're getting wetted off.
It's just one of those ways that went with the dodo when all the diggers started to die, and a lot of old traditions, bullying,
Yep.
racism,
hazing.
hazing, yeah. Well, wolf whistling.
I'll tell you what. Speaking that, it sounds like everything's going to die because it's been currently toted by Sir David Attenborough that the Garden of Eden is over. We've done it, boys.
Oh well, it's over.
Have we done
Well,
it?
it's
Is it-
over.
Officially?
The Holocene, this period of time where everything, biodiversity with
Yeah.
animals and different creatures and, conditions that were conducive of, freedom of life is over.
Yeah,
well,
big clap for that.
fucking well done.
For that.
Well done.
That's good.
So, the Holocene has now folded and made way for the Anthropocene, which is the age of the human. And
Okay.
we all know how
Top
great
of the
humans
Haven't
have
we
been to
already
the
had
earth.
our age? Is this our age now?
Well,
Man, we're having a really good go at it, aren't we?
Yeah.
Giving a good old
Well,
fisting.
compared to the white tiger or the white rhino or something else that's
Weak.
yeah.
Yeah, those guys are weak.
Yeah.
I did hear on I'll shout them out, Skeptic's Guide to the Universe podcast. They were talking about where was it? I think, where are elephants with tusks? Let's just say the Congo.
Africa.
Yeah, but
Oh,
I was trying to be pinpoint
a
a
bit
little
more
bit more.
specific. Yeah.
When they had their massive civil war.
The elephants.
No, the elephants. No, the civil war within the country. They funded the war using ivory.
Yep.
Chopping off the
Kidding me.
tusks. But
It's
there's
worth that much.
well, yeah, sure,
Kill them all.
White gold.
got to get it.
Like old
So
Texas cheese.
what happened? The elephants that weren't getting poached, because 1 in 10 or whatever don't actually get tusks, so they became the predominant.
Species.
They
Well,
went
they
up.
survived.
Yeah.
They survived because no one was hunting them for their tusks.
Yep.
Now they're getting. Now they've all bred together, and you're
Oh.
getting these elephants coming out with no tusks.
They're the seedless watermelon of the animal world.
See, exactly,
Tiny,
man.
tiny task. It's like a micro task.
Yeah, all about that, Tim. But that's it's a positive and it's a negative.
Well, just with the animals being affected by war, I've watched all these World War II documentaries and stuff like that, and they're bombing the shit out of it everywhere. Obviously, if you let a bomb off at a farm, the crows, they piss off for a little while, leave your corn alone.
I guess.
And then, so, firepower and explosions and hand grenades going off, surely the wildlife completely exits out of everywhere.
You're
Where does
right.
it all go?
That's a good point.
It's a good
It's obviously going out,
They
meeting
run away. They
So
get displaced.
There has to be a high concentration of, what's the titwillow doing over here at this time part of the season?
Titwillow. Well, actually, that happened with those pigeons. Are they pigeons? They're native doves or whatever. And we used to just have the normal ones in Victoria, but then the ones with the cocky, they got a bit of a head
I see that.
headpiece.
Yeah.
They're way more common now because as the drought started, because those guys follow the wheat belt almost.
Oh, right.
So they sort of like migrated down further from New South Wales as it got drier, and now they're just permanently in Victoria.
Right, cool. That's how it works.
So
They just
there's-
changed their.
But there's got to be an influx of, like, let's just say they rebuild a city in a war. The animals aren't going to come back in a rush, really. So they're going to stay where they've gone. But where do they all go?
Once bitten, twice shy. It takes a while for them to come back into the town, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, it's all well for us to speculate, about animal migration patterns, but there are experts that spend a lot of time following these things, and
We should honour that.
yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. Like, I think who knows? A lot of them might come back as soon as they can, to because that's all they know. But you're like,
But
who knows?
once you've changed the environment, like you're saying, what was going on with the bats?
Oh, the bats. Well, apparently it's been getting so hot in Queensland that the bats, like thousands of bats, have just been dropping out of trees dead.
Well done.
Okay,
Excellent.
just dropping out.
We got it.
So there's so many of them. That's what's killing them off.
Yeah, well, it's
Excellent. We did it.
no, it's the heat. It's the they're not bearing with the temperatures, but apparently they say that they're like the proverbial canary in the mine. That is, our world,
Yep.
and that a lot of animals would be dying under these temperatures, but the bats they live around cities and people notice them, because they're in the
okay.
public view.
Actually,
Okay,
after
so
this,
there's a lot
after
more
this,
death, you're saying.
Yeah, we
in
just
the,
see them
in
dying.
up in the trees.
on a
Yeah.
positive though, I'm looking forward to the Herald Sun putting out the photos, maybe tomorrow or the next day, of the koala or kangaroo that has a dip in the swimming pool.
Oh yeah,
Drinks
just
the
like
water out of the
summertime
doggy's bowl.
story.
I like that.
Yeah.
Is that it's the news? I have a
Yes.
news theme here. North, east, west, south.
Let's play it again.
It's the news.
It's the news.
I think we need to workshop that one.
Yeah, sure. That's why I've never used it. I just found it in the list there, so I played it.
Excellent.
Got news stories?
Certainly do.
Excellent.
Well, on a recent flight to Bangkok from somewhere, I'd say America. I can't say that
For
for
sure.
sure, but we could
sure.
maybe. Who knows? But someone that's been travelling to Bangkok has demanded that the flight attendants wipe their ass or they're going to shit their pants. Now, I know it's been a while since we've gone down the poo path.
Only a week.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
a week.
All right, cool. Well, there's just this mainly because people like this need to be named and shamed.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's it.
So
round
what-
them
so-
up, I'm saying.
Yep.
So the people that don't wipe, explain it to us.
I don't
us
know what's
again.
going on,
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a very lewd customer. Someone that likes to frequent Thailand. Morbidly obese man who refused to shut the door of the toilet. And
couldn't
then
get around, couldn't shut the door. That is a pretty tight squeeze.
Yeah, it's very
wouldn't
small.
take his pants off and demanded that they help him or he would defecate in his pants. And
That is clear.
yeah.
Baby needs change diaper.
apparently he's done
Clean
it
my
before.
butty.
Done it
What?
before. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's done it before. He's wet his pants before. There's been a few complaints.
Who hasn't? Really?
On a
No,
plane.
on a plane.
Yeah, all the
everywhere.
time.
Yeah.
You could get one of those little handy gadgets, your pee anywhere gadget. You know, you
A
can do it.
nappy.
Oh, yeah.
It's you attach it to a nappy,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more like a funnel that goes into like a catheter bag that you wear on your leg, so you can pee anywhere. Just say you're at a gig, and it takes so long to get to the toilets and then back to your spot.
Oh, that
So
was
you
Don't
just sort
bump
of
into anyone's keys or a cactus.
that's right.
I for one would love one of those things.
Mm.
Yeah.
Free willy.
Free Willy.
Do you get to put your into the funnel and sit
There
it
is
there
a funnel.
permanently?
There is a
So
funnel.
it's you set up. Because how else are you going to do it? You're going to go, oh, in public. No, you have to already,
It'll already be
It's
hooked
got to
up.
be set up.
you've
Yeah.
already assisted yourself. So
Definitely.
then you don't have to even get up. That would be pretty good for long plane trips, really.
And you practice in the ocean, like I was saying last, in the really must goes.
To get it right.
Mm.
I reckon you practice in your bed where it really matters.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
if
right.
you can successfully do it in your bed and not create a
Ah.
mess, you'll be able to do it on a plane in public.
Exactly. I saw it. This is what I saw. You know, you want to make a tightroper get across that rope, you take away the fucking net.
Yeah,
That's
true.
right, yeah.
Yeah, that is true. True that. If you want to, surely there's another one.
And then, yeah, you do, because that's how we evolved to parkour and becoming better humans. Is
Survival.
Well, the tightrope net is gone. You know, you go harder. Because people will just start dying, and it's survival of the fittest. It's Darwinism.
Yep.
It's well,
That's Marbo.
we are going
It is
to
a vibe.
we're going to produce a race of humans that can walk a tightrope, jump off a building, skydive.
Slide a rail.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All the stuff that you're going to need.
I can't
in
wait
the
for-
future when
it's-
everything's rails.
It's the age of the humans, I'm saying. So
It is.
we're starting to develop all these other skills that no one knew. Like a little, you see these little 5-year-olds, they've all got talent on those shows. And they're all
Well, they are
IQs.
talent shows.
They're the IQ of Einstein.
Sort of the prerequisite for getting on the show.
Yeah. Kids got talent.
Yeah.
Well, I'm personally
But is
looking
this
forward to the age of humans.
Well, yeah, been there. Is this a philosophy on life?
What's that?
Well, the safety net is gone, and that's what is the safety net?
Well,
You know, the planet.
oh, that was our
The
safety
environment.
net.
Now
That was the warm doona
Yep.
that was wrapping us up.
Growing
at night.
economies.
I don't know. I don't know where we're going with the. I saw the bike. Have you seen the bike?
I've seen bikes.
Bike, the bike graveyard in China.
No.
It's do you know those the bike companies that sprung up all around the world?
Oh, the
Hi-
O-bikes.
yeah, horror
Yeah.
bike,
Yeah.
and they ended up in the Yarra.
Rubbish. From the
Up in
day they
trees.
got dropped out on the streets, I saw them all up and down Chapel Street. It was ridiculous. I knew that they'd become rubbish, and they did much quicker than I thought.
It was
Even.
very quick.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have ownership of an item, you treat it like trash. Well, some people do,
Yeah.
and so all these bikes
Society
are-
hasn't really grown as a whole, has it?
No, it hasn't.
To a utopian sort of thing.
Now, what's happening in China? I think the government brought in a new tax in a particular province because these bikes were just coming in. New companies were starting up. There was like 12 coloured bikes, not just the yellow ones. There were pinks, there were blues.
Yeah.
Too many companies.
Yeah.
And said it's getting messy. You're going to have to pay a tax on each of these bikes.
Yep.
So instead of paying the tax, these companies just went bankrupt. And the province has been littered with bikes. Now, just have a scroll through those photos. It is
There's
a graveyard.
wow. I'm
Read-
floored actually. That's more bikes than I expected to see. And
Scroll across there.
some some of the colours I recognise and some that I don't. Yeah, there we go.
So how many
Oops,
bikes?
too far.
How many? Oh, yeah, you don't want to see that. How many bikes would you say are there? Let's just say I don't know, 500,000 bikes.
easily.
stacked up on each other. Can't we sort of... It looks like there's enough bikes there to give every child right across the world a new bike for Christmas.
Yep.
Why can't we just... There's nothing wrong with these bikes.
No.
So what's going to happen with these bikes?
Well, they get
And
broken down for their raw materials.
And what the hell are we talking about?
Well, we're talking about, this is the state of society and share networks. You know, these bicycles that we see everywhere. In other countries, they have share networks for everything, like cars work and things like that, but they also do it for small things like umbrellas. Share umbrellas.
Share umbrella.
Yep. You use it while you're out on the street, and then you drop it into your thing, and it's...
Sorry, it's just into a bucket.
Sorry,
you're
guys,
back, Tim. Yeah.
I'm back. Sorry, I just had to duck out for 5 seconds. Did I miss anything?
Not at all.
Okay.
Well, we're talking about
share bikes and stuff.
We're talking about the age of man, basically, and how we rule.
We rule over the roads.
Yeah, we rule everything.
Mm.
I can't wait to get up in space and start ruling that pesky moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of getting up into space, did you hear, I read this recently last week is recently, that Donald Trump, when he first got into office, spoke to NASA and was like, one of the advisors was like, yeah, we're going to try and get a manned mission to Mars.
Yep.
2035 or something like that. And Trump was like, can you do it this year?
Yeah.
In my first year
Yeah.
of office, can you do it? And he's like, no, I don't think we can do that. It's like, what if I give you a blank check, all the money you need? It's like, it's not possible.
Yeah, because you do know Donald, that
testing.
it takes 9 months to get to Mars, so that leaves us a window.
So that's
But this is this
carry the
dude's
three.
grasp of reality, just I'll
it's
just give you
scary.
all the money and you can get to Mars.
Where's all the money coming from? Would he be kicking in his own money when he says that? Like, if he just makes a bold decision like that for the country, is it just like, no, I'll get this one.
Yeah,
know?
no.
I'll pay for it.
I don't
That
think
way you
he's
guys can't tell
signing
me
any
not to do
checks.
it. I'll pay for it. Me, the president.
Yeah, it's the blank check theory. I don't know where the money comes from, the $1 trillion economy of America. But I think Donald knows that there's an endless stream of money, and he could probably do that. Well, they did it in the '60s with the Kennedys.
Yep.
Let's get to the moon, supposedly.
Yeah, see, how long did it take him to do that?
10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
So that's about right, what they said. That was their guesstimate. That was their quote, wasn't it?
Yeah.
35?
But everyone
Yep.
had to chuck in. The American society, to win that space race, they were donating money. Every dollar 10 cents in every dollar went to the space program.
That's
Did it?
crazy.
Or was
it was insane, man.
Or was it the chipping in for the army? They really get everybody to pay for
The
everything, don't
bonds, the bearer bonds or the war bonds.
they? Mm.
Yeah, they get them to pay for everything except their own health care.
Hey, hot take. It's hotting up in here.
Yes, it is. It is. But never fear. What else did I hear?
Is there anything positive that we're doing?
Yeah, you know how they think that there's not much we can do about asteroids if a big one's coming for us? Well,
Yeah.
they're going to disprove that. They're going to attempt to disprove that theory, and they're going to try and knock an asteroid off course that's somewhere else.
Excellent.
That's
Yeah.
a good idea.
It's kind of cool. But
Test
I think,
it out rather
imagine-
than testing it out at ground zero.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, waiting till it's coming for us.
Blow it up and then we get showered in billions of asteroids.
Yeah. It just
Any theories on how they're going to achieve this?
They are just going to throw a projectile at it really fast.
Yeah.
It's going at 6 kilometers a second. Or
Man,
something.
that's a
Something
good
stupid
shot.
like
That's a
it's-
good throw.
It's going really fast anyways. I'll get the
6
facts to you later.
kilometers a second doesn't sound very
maybe
fast.
so try 600.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
6 million, 6,000,
Doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter.
Let's
Had
throw a
66
number in there.
then.
Imagine something that inconceivably fast,
Yes.
That one.
and it's not going to make much difference. Apparently, it might alter the trajectory by a minute
Minuscule.
degree.
That could be a lot over a
Yep.
over a universe.
Yep.
That's right.
And just
What
the
would you
environmental impact on nudging that asteroid. Are we nudging it to someone else's planet?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's like what's
Talking
what's
about
yeah, but
butterfly effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, but did they nudge it towards us?
Good point.
Do you know what I mean? Maybe we're just contributing to the game that is the universe.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's like one of those blow up balls at a gig. in the stadium, and you just keep bouncing it around the stadium. You never know where it's going to land. Someone's going to cop it in the face eventually.
But you've got to get technically advanced, build a space program, and aim a trajectory at it to participate.
I think what we could do, like possibly magnets, depending on what's in the asteroid. Let's say it's got an iron core. I saw this on a show. That's why I've come up with the idea. It's called Salvation on Netflix. Mm-hmm. So it's got an iron core, this asteroid that's hurtling towards Earth. Mm-hmm. So he's thinking about sending up magnetic bullets, and just make it heavier, push it.
Heavier or shoot it with the negative, how it repels. Just push it.
I haven't seen the full season.
Oh, you haven't watched the next episode.
It was 6 kilometres a second.
Okay.
As inconceivably slow as that might sound.
Yeah, so an easy shot is what they're saying.
You try going 6 kilometres a second. Anyways.
Okay, it's pretty fast.
Yeah.
I'll try that.
That's fast. It's pretty fast.
So it's all on the up and up.
Yeah, up and up and up.
And
or
away.
Into space.
It is. Well, we're going to have to do something, aren't we?
I think so. I think so.
You know, at least it'd be cooler in space.
Yeah,
much cooler. Yeah, it's too hot today.
Or is it going to be like the old Westie where you're out in the desert and you've got to make a house, find the food. You know what I mean?
100%.
Will we start again, or will we go up there and just go right Dubai, a city? You know, like the dome.
Well, that's what I'm going. I'm not pioneer.
No,
not a pioneer.
Styles.
Yeah. No, I'm no pioneer.
Well, I beg to differ. You're on a podcast.
True. Yeah. It took
pioneering the airwaves.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
To some degree, yeah.
I'll take that.
You've got a house though, and food.
Yes. I'm not. Well, look, the way the heat's going this year, it's pretty bloody hot. It's hotter than I can remember, and I work outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
So, if there is sign me up to get off the planet, I think I might have a crack at it.
Then you are a pioneer.
Might be.
I know what you're talking about. In my lifetime, I've experienced choosing to work outdoors because it's the place to be, to the place being hellishly inhospitable.
Yeah.
At times.
Those massive hailstorms, the extreme heat waves, the torrential rain,
your morning frosts.
Yeah.
The thickened mud.
Yeah.
It's really not the place to be outside.
Although
it's so much nicer in here with the air conditioning.
Sure is.
Which, coincidentally is probably making it worse. Have you felt the heat that comes out the back of an air conditioner?
No.
A lot.
All right, so we're adding to the heat?
And you're using coal to power it.
I think we are. I was just looking at it today, just looking at cars driving and thinking, we've got it wrong. And everyone's just sort of nah, we're going to keep doing this, got to keep doing it because no one has a choice, you know? We've got to, you only have to look at nature strips to see how far ahead the people that planned all this were looking. There's power lines and they planted gum trees under the power lines. They couldn't see 3 years ahead. And now you see these trees under the power lines.
I like it.
They're all they employ
so
arborists that have to go down there every couple of weeks to cut the branches
100%.
to stop them. It's the most
So
stupid
politics, does that mean we're creating jobs?
Well, in a sense, it is.
If they go plants and plants, we're creating jobs in 5 years.
We can just think of other jobs.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's not a bad gig, cutting trees, but
Sure.
it'd be easier if we didn't have to do it. Plant the trees somewhere they could grow.
It just looks like shit.
Yeah, that's
Like
stupid.
the cup effect.
And how long can it last? That's not how the
those
tree was meant to
those
be.
limbs are going to want to fall over at some stage.
That's what it looks like. I don't know. I'm not.
Maybe they should run a bridge through them all, and then have a treetop.
Oh, how cool would that be?
That'd be
Would be
nice.
sick.
Yeah.
Yep.
And no one would use it,
Yeah, because
This
that's
is
where all
cool.
the homeless stuff.
and you're too close to the power lines.
That's for tomorrow's children who are dancing on our ashes, basically, who have risen. They're like the Phoenix children have risen from the decrepit earth that our generations have left them.
So essentially, they were underground for a while. Yeah. So
Yes.
when they come back up, what do they look like? Well, how have we evolved
How have we
when
evolved?
they're dancing on our ashes?
Well, I think, I don't know.
Hairless.
Hairless.
Hairless like moles, smaller eyes, maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Bigger
Pin
eyes.
eyes.
Bigger eyes, because we're looking at...
You're trying to get the light in.
We're trying to...
Are we using them?
We're using them on the screens that we're watching and playing video games. And so our eyes are getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, that's true. All right. But yeah, like making positivity of the, there's skywalks through the silly trees we left. What else would there be?
Mm. They did that in Detroit, didn't they? Or New York?
They did with the
Rays.
the High Line.
That's what they call it, yeah.
The train lines that run around the city that are raised. Some of the lines have closed down. They've just made them all walkways.
Oh, cool.
So I guess
Raised parks and
it's pretty good.
Yep,
it's really good.
Number one place to get mugged.
Yep,
because you're amongst the trees.
Yeah. Oh, up in
there
where
there's no police presence or cameras or anything.
Oh, I think there'd be cameras fucking everywhere over there by now. Wouldn't there?
You'd hope so.
Would you? Or would you?
Or would you? Or would you?
I don't know.
Would you?
No, it is all doom and gloom. But hey, there might be a way out of it. You know, although all action has to be taken now. I think if you're not on that page, you sort of got to get onto it.
Yep.
Yep.
Get your soda stream.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're saving the world with soda streams.
One bottle at a time, Tim.
I think it's it's the individualization of responsibility has really been rampant lately. Like most of the damage is done by corporations. Like even our ways of life that we think are necessary have been thrust upon us by some
CEO.
Yeah,
that's what I always say. Like the straw ban is one thing. It's good. It's a step forward, getting everyone to think about not using straws. But with one wave of the finger, the CEO of Coca-Cola, Amtal, could make all those plastic bottles out of something else, something that wasn't so harmful.
Yeah, that's right.
But the stockholders, Jeremy, won't someone think of them?
That's right. So it's really, it's up to people to demand change through their consumption. It's the only way, really. If the dollars are to be made in a more ethical, conscious decisions, then that's where the money will be put. And in saying that, it has to happen. We can meet the targets of the Paris Climate Agreement, but apparently they, like fossil fuels has to stop being burnt like now.
Yeah, today.
And not only do we have to stop, but we have to reduce some of the carbon that's in the atmosphere, which there's new technologies to do so.
Yep. Here we go.
There's a couple.
Is this the positive part of the podcast?
There's a couple of things, but one that I found exciting is one that absorbed CO2 out of the atmosphere and then turned it into electricity and hydrogen, which they were used to, for the hydrogen fuel cells.
So that guy's going to be dead within 6 weeks.
Yeah. As soon as they can buy the patent, then they'll kill him off.
Yeah, but that's a good one. Get that CO2 out of the air.
Okay, so it's because it's all about the CO2, right? CO2 CO2 that.
Apparently.
So if we start using that as a resource, is that going to fuck up?
Well, it means we can keep living how we're living, I guess. We can keep our air conditioners on the hot days because we kind of need some CO2.
But isn't that what the plants use to live? They draw in the CO2, they let out oxygen.
Yeah.
So we start using their CO2, we're double fucked.
No, there's still plenty. There's still plenty for them.
Plenty to go
there's
around.
Plenty
to go around.
Plenty, but the more CO2 that's in the atmosphere, a lot of plants love it. Back in the day, pre-humans, pre-animals.
They hated it.
They hated it. No, the CO2 concentrations were much higher. The atmosphere was much warmer, and the place was a real tropical fanfare.
It was hotting up.
It was
really
hotting up, and it was getting moist.
Yeah.
Well, that's just, we might as well end the podcast now. 'Cause everyone's turned off.
While we're at it.
Do your bit.
Eat
Chop
on
a
the
bit.
podcast. Yeah, great. Moist and eating on the podcast. Now I've just got to keep saying it.
Don't get me started. What else you got?
Well, that's a good positive. It's a good positive way to end that 26-minute rant on how doomed we are.
Yeah, okay.
Because there are people smarter than us that don't need to do a podcast to feel good about themselves.
Yeah, much smarter.
That are working on Options.
Better things.
Options. Let's, these young kids that are building that boat that's going to suck up all the plastic.
Okay.
Trawl the oceans for plastic and turn it into fuel. They're even saying having on-board plastic treatment and processing facilities on ocean liners. So as you're going through the ocean, you're picking up plastic and then you're using it for your fuel on your boat.
Yeah. This person's seen Waterworld. They're thinking ahead.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm basically going to have money on water.
Mm.
A license to print money.
As far as Waterworld went, not too bad.
Didn't
For a
do
shitty
too
good
well.
movie.
It tanked, but whatever.
A tank. It was filmed in a tank, wasn't it?
That was great.
Well, let's move away from the environment just for a minute.
Sure.
Let's-
Sure.
Last night I watched a Simon Pegg movie. Simon Pegg?
Is this
Enlighten me.
Is this Jezbot's news review?
Yeah, all right.
Snooze Review
2.0.
Yeah.
Let's hear another one. Snooze Reviews.
There is only one problem. I don't know the name of the movie.
Okay, that doesn't matter.
But it doesn't really matter because it was more... It brought up some emotions, the movie. There was he was a security guard, layabout dad, I guess, a slacker. He's always got heart in his movies, in his characters. Anyway, the security guard is obviously wanted to go through some changes, and I missed most of the movie, to be honest. But he finds he finds himself training for a marathon. He wants to do the London Marathon or some such. And everyone's saying he can't do it, and there's some bets laid and whatever. So he starts the race. Of course, he gets there late. The alarm didn't go off. So there was a rush to the event.
Yep. So far, we don't have to watch it because he's telling us
Pretty
everything.
much.
Yeah.
And over the course of the film, his fake beer gut got smaller and smaller as the race got closer and closer.
Okay.
And so it's
A gut montage.
Yeah, there you go. And I kind of started to get into it. Like I starting to get into the characters.
Is that when you woke up?
Oh,
Is
this
that when you
is
started
snooze.
to get into it?
Yeah, when I woke
I
up,
missed,
yeah,
I missed most of it.
But yeah, so he's in the race, and he's the protagonist in the story, and the antagonist is the new husband of his ex-wife or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he's in the race as well. And the race starts, and they're competing heavily, and they start sprinting. And a marathon is not a sprint; it's a marathon. Right? Is that
Yeah.
the terminology? Yeah. So they run past the leading pack, and the antagonist trips our hero.
Okay.
Oh,
And he fucks up, and he's busted up, and in his head he wants to quit because he's always been a quitter. But he said no. Today's my day.
Yep.
Today's my day to stand up, and he did such. He stood up and he kept running, but he wasn't running; he was hobbling. Cuts to 6 hours later. He's just hobbling down the street by himself. The race is over. Everyone's gone home and they've packed up.
he's Forrest Gumped it.
He's Forrest Gumped it. And someone starts filming him live on their iPod or whatever. What's it called? Phone. and puts it up on YouTube, I guess. And it starts to get this massive
Viral following,
I guess. So then, if you will. And then the next scene, there's a whole crowd of people, and they're all following him, just like Forrest Gump.
Wow.
And he's trying to finish the race.
Just like Forrest Gump.
he's walking, hobbling, and he hits, as they say, hits the wall. You know when you hit the wall, when you're running and you exercise, you cannot
Get past that.
That point. Wall just you stop. Your body stops. You see it in the Olympics all the time. Their legs collapse underneath them.
Yeah,
they try to kill it.
It's
It's just
jelly.
like,
That's like not the first wall that you'd hit, though. Like
No.
in an physical endurance event, like there's several walls.
I'd say
that break.
hurdles to get over. But once you hit the wall, that's the last one.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
not hurdles. It's a marathon. So not hurdles.
Yeah, it's in the athletics arena, but it's not hurdles. It's a marathon,
Not that one.
and it's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
The wall you can't break through.
So this is what got me, Sean, enough. Thank you for saying that to get me back on track. So he's hit the wall, and you can see it. Have you dropped everything? Is everything all right? An actual brick wall they put up, and this is what because he's tripping balls. He doesn't know what's going on.
Oh,
Brick wall goes
running
up,
endorphins,
and he's thinking to himself, "Do I quit? Do I stop? What am I to do? Can I go further?" Mm-hmm. And then this brick, this is genius filmmaking. Just this brick, one brick out of the wall, just slides out, and then the light shines through, and he goes up to it. And it's him on the other side going, "Come on, man, come on!" And then the wall breaks down, and then so I'm getting the feels now. This is what the title of this segment is. I got the feels.
I got some feels.
You got the feels?
Yeah, good on him.
And so what the feels is, I never realised that Katy Perry and J. Rel or J. What's the guy with the hat? Anyway,
the
she
guy
did the
from
song.
Jamiroquai.
Oh, that'll do.
Jamiroquai.
I got feels. Feels.
Feels.
I never realised what the feels were. But Urban Dictionary says that. Sorry, I just got a yawl.
Is this the song?
Nothing more than
No, it's not. But Urban Dictionary defines feels as a wave of emotion that sometimes cannot be adequately explained. Watching Back to the Future gives me all sorts of nostalgic feels.
That was the example.
Yeah.
Yes.
Walking from one end of the nightclub to the other, I copped a lot of
Feels. I think my description was better.
Okay.
But there's a song, Feels. So the first feels I can ever remember, I think I might have talked about this on a podcast or podcast, was in Rocky 3 when Mickey died.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I must have been a young boy.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I fucking cried, man.
Got the
Bawled.
feels.
Got the feels as a youngster. I didn't realise like how involved I was with Mickey.
Mickey.
And he died, and I lost it watching this movie. But it's like feels porn. Like I like getting the feels.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep. Porn gives me feels.
So is the feels? It's always good feeling. Can you get the feels from a horror movie?
Yes.
Is it the same
Yeah.
kind of
A
thing?
wave of
It's
emotion. Fear is an emotion.
Okay.
So that's good.
Okay.
That's a
But
feels.
you
I
have-
was gonna say that I got feels from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original edition.
Mm-hmm.
Every time they went into that tunnel of doom. Remember when they
Got the
Oh,
feels.
yeah,
on
got the feels
got on
there.
that boat on the Chocolate
And you
River
kind of-
and went through it? I'd hide behind the couch.
Yep.
Yeah.
But also when he says, "Charlie, you did it, man. You did it. It was all a test,
Yeah.
and you did it.
We just got
And
through
now
a bad
the
trip.
whole world's yours." That gets you to the feels. It's giving me this.
Only the
feels
real
right now.
survive. Only the
Look,
real survive.
Oh,
got the feels on my hairy arm there.
it's
Tim.
gross.
So do you want to hear a list of feels for reals?
Feels for reals. Okay. Yeah.
Well, MASH gives me the feels.
Does
like
it?
a well-written scene in MASH. Towards the end, like a good build-up and a crescendo of emotion with perfect writing and timing.
And then the theme music.
And then you go, "Oh, Radar,
Roll the
music.
credits.
you did it. You did it." I also like a Frasier.
Okay.
When Frasier and his dad, in particular, are having it out. And he's like, "I do love you, son. I just don't want to tell you because you're always in my face."
Yeah.
I love you.
I think I've seen that episode.
Right?
Yeah.
That gets me. Pinkwood Floyd? No. Pink Floyd or Fleetwood Mac?
Yeah. But while you're on the subject of TV shows, I think I've got the feels from the old.
Oh, yeah.
That gives me
What
feels.
is the deal? Airline film.
Yeah.
It gives you the funny feels.
Funny feels.
I think it's more of. I think you need to have a goosebump reaction
Okay.
or a wave of tears or emotion.
Well, it said it's emotion that was so strong it was inexplicable.
And it got me. That last night, I just could not get that shit out of my head where the brick came out.
Oh.
I was trying to explain it to Cass, and I was like, "Is it with the brick?" And then he got up, And he
She's
ran,
like, I
and
was
the wall
watching
broke
it.
down. You know, I was there, man. I didn't shed a tear. I am a robot. I'll tell you what, just to wrap it up very quickly on the list of my feels, I like a soldier returning home, and the dog goes ape shit when he realizes, oh my God, he's home. He came back to me.
Yeah.
I like that. And a good dog rescue. You know, you see a montage there, the dog's been abused or whatever, and then 6 months later he's chasing a ball down the street because someone took him in.
Because
I like that.
it's a dog's life.
It's like a...
I think what
like
you've got is a good
like a
appreciation
feels.
for dogs. And dogs get the feels.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
their
that's
whole life is the feels.
Just feels. They're just running on feels. And Mark Twain said it best. He said, the more I meet of mankind, the more I like my dog.
Mm.
And dogs are good.
What's the deals with feels? Continue.
That's it.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
I thought I'd just express that.
Okay,
You know,
cool.
just to put it out there. Because I am trying to turn a new leaf this year.
Yep.
With the anger issues.
Yep.
You'll notice that I'm wearing a what colour singlet?
It's like a mauve.
It's like a plum.
I like a lilac.
It's really
It is a
balancing
bit.
out that
Yeah.
the wife beater, and it's got
Yeah.
a breast pocket.
It does. And
Yeah.
I've put this on for the first time today. The tag was on it, but I was feeling so many feels
That
that I went, you know what? I can wear a bloody lilac.
I feel like I
like
should
better.
have a
Do whatever you
singlet with a pocket instead of just a regular singlet.
So the questions I wanted to know was,
Can I ask one question?
Yes.
What are you putting in the pocket of your singlet?
When you're at your singlet business
What are you
meetings.
putting in the pocket of any?
It's perfect
Pocket on
for
your
an
top.
iPhone 4.
Yeah,
yeah.
but then
That
when
fits
you go
in.
to the toilet, it
Falls
ploops. Yep.
But do you feels? What feels you, or who do you feels?
Feelings.
Any? Does anything? Do you ever tear up at a? I don't think you.
Well, you've hit
When was
hit
the
us
last time
with
you
the-
cried, Tim?
Oh.
Or felt?
In a dream.
Right.
From a
Yeah.
dream. But
that
I don't know.
sounds heavy.
yeah, heavy dreams, man. But we don't talk about dreams on the podcast because it bores
No,
people.
but actually,
to death.
we were talking about dreams yesterday, Tim, and you said, "I wish I didn't have to fucking eat. I'm just sick of eating, sick of cooking. I'm sick of going to Coles. I'm sick of making it."
I actually said as well that the one thing, if they said, all right, you've got to give up one thing, like it'll benefit you somewhat, but what would you give up? I would give up eating.
Yep.
But you also said,
It's a pain in the
also
ass.
So
sleeping.
it's a full bypass, though.
Yeah, I did say
You
also
said,
sleeping.
Sleeping. I'm sick of sleeping. I just want to keep working and not get tired.
Yeah.
But then you said, but then I wouldn't be able to dream.
Yeah.
That was the link. That was how
Okay.
that's how it got there.
Because in my dreams I cry. Oh, how I do cry. But I was trying to think, I guess I get the feels of the Labyrinth when
Oh, yeah.
when she's finally getting her brother back.
Ah, yeah. That, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, that just gave me a feels right there. Just
Did
see
it?
that? Yeah, just got
I also
it.
get a
It's just sitting
strange.
under the
I
air
am
conditioner.
sitting under the air conditioner.
I also get a strange feeling in the scene where David Bowie is wearing those tights.
Those codpiece.
Yeah, in the same movie, Labyrinth.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Are you still in love with her? That's got to be one of your first loves. The chick out of
Labyrinth chick?
Labyrinth. Yeah.
Yeah, she was hot.
She's right my age.
What'd she do?
She was a bit older than me, but she's always hot.
She's still hot.
Is she
Still
still doing
works.
stuff?
Yep. Not dead.
Okay.
No.
Didn't have any,
Operations?
crazy crashing cars in LA or no drugs, I don't think.
Are we done with the
Yeah, I'm done with that.
plastic surgery side of celebrities, or are they still like changing their heads? Because it wasn't that a big. That was
They're still
quite a
doing
big
it.
thing.
Like,
but
look at
have they gotten
Bruce
better
Jenner.
at it?
They've gotten better at it. I think it's more of your Botox stuff. Like you can strategically inject in places that make you still sort of like look like you're aging, but is kind of tipping,
Yeah.
The tippity bits.
tucking your back a bit.
Yeah, don't tack your eyes
And it's-
back because you look really weird.
We've got. It's also not reserved for A-listers either. We've got plenty of Australian celebrities that I've seen have it. Well, I don't know. Allegedly,
Allegedly.
I saw Johnny Diesel Remember Johnny Diesel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolute champion. Like, it's one of Australia's blues legends, one of the greatest guitarists that Australia's produced, and performers. It's brilliant. Brilliant. And I went to a dinner and a show, saw Johnny Diesel, and after I got a photo with him, this guy looks like half my age, and I'm half his age.
Well, this is the thing when you grow up in the industry and you don't see the daylight because everything's at night.
Yep.
This is the sun. The sun
the
is
sun.
what. This is the sun that gets you.
Yeah.
You've worked outdoors all
That's
your
right.
life.
That's true.
You got your Johnny Diesel
And the
you got your
injectors.
John Cougar Mellencamp,
Yes.
Yep.
Johnny Farnham.
Johnny Be Good.
Johnny and the Johnnies.
Yeah, Johnny Young.
Yep.
Yeah.
Johnny Rotten.
Okay.
Johnny Rotten goes to Johnny. Johnny! Should have been me!
John Paul Jones.
Yeah.
John Paul Young.
John Paul Young. Yeah. John English.
Oh, man, I'm really... I can't think of any people called John.
Well, you got
John the
first one.
Baptist.
All right.
What about John Boy, the listener?
Oh,
yeah.
Johnny Boyd.
Jumper Jack.
Yeah. Johnny Boy. He did send us a text the other day. Good looking out there, Johnny. I try to reply on the Facebook thing. For some reason, the message disappeared. I don't know
Okay.
if I deleted it or
Well,
tried to
I
reply,
will...
Got intercepted. It was obviously far too important to me.
I did do a little note here, Tim. You'd said in a previous podcast about Facebook dropping off very quickly.
Yeah.
I'm proud to say I've erased it off my day-to-day phone.
Okay.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
You're a hero. You're
Yeah.
a hero amongst.
It's still on my
amongst
iPad. So, well, I'll tell you why. It's for the invitations. Like, I've got something to do on Australia Day now. Going to Adz's Zalia's first birthday party.
Okay. As the Nookles.
As to Nookles.
I didn't think about that side of it.
So for that and business, like I like to post up on the gardening thing.
Yeah. I need work.
Fair enough.
We have
I'm
any work?
free.
Yeah.
Use the
'Cause-
tools.
Because I did because it used to be like if you send out invitations to somebody and it's quite important, you'd send them a text message or an email. And I sent out for our last gig for a release was like 50 or 60 texts,
Oh, yeah.
right? 2 replies to the texts,
Is that Rebecca's?
2 replies on text.
2 replies on text. So like I was trying to do the whole I'm personally texting you
Ah, yes.
rather than Facebooking you. So I'm going out of that. I'm not just generically Facebooking. I'm going
Yeah.
you. I had to pick you off my contacts. It's
Curated
hard to do.
list.
Yep.
Yes.
Then and then Ness said, "Look, just put it on Facebook anyway, because you might as well." So I fucking constructed this big thing, sent it to 50, 60 people, and everybody saw it.
Yeah, and how many people rocked up?
There's about
good crew.
200.
No,
50
not
people.
out of your list.
Oh, out of my
the
crew,
curated list was
probably about 10 of us.
Yeah. And if you'd sent it out on Facebook, you would have got 2 or
No,
none.
if I sent I would have got none from the text. So it's just this switch that you need to have some kind of Facebooky messenger thing going because that's where people are responding to. Is my point there.
Now, I know you don't like talking about it, but can we just talk about that gig that you did last Friday night? Just very briefly.
If you have to.
Yeah, well done.
Oh, okay.
Well done,
I get
well
what you're
done.
saying.
DJ
I
Relic,
won't
should I say.
talk about how you DJ'd or how you ruled.
Oh, well. It was brilliant. It was a great
Yeah.
performance.
It was good.
And wrote all the songs and produced them all and all that, which was great.
It's good. It was a show. It was a showcase of an EP we've got coming out with another girl, Rebecca Jans.
Yep.
She pretty much put the event on.
Right.
So it's credit due
Okay.
there.
Credit to Rebecca, because this is what I wanted to bring up about the night. Not so much you. It was at a hostel.
Yep.
And it was, what I've got to say, it was one of the best gigs I've been to in 6 to 12 months.
Full of appreciative travellers.
Yes.
good, yeah.
Not young
Arrogant,
people,
entitled
happy,
Australians.
Yeah.
it
willing participants.
house party-esque.
Yeah, it was
Still
like
at a venue.
indoor, outdoor. Yeah.
And
And with BYO grog.
BYOB. And I thought because some of the sets you were playing with some of the artists, there was cameras and phones from all over the world, as it turns out, recording you and posting it up. And I think it's the best sort of way to get. This is a hot tip from Jez to the struggling artist out there. Set up some hostel gigs.
Play to the world.
Play
in your
to
own
the
backyard.
world. They're just a technically savvy or into social media savvy that look at this guy, bam, 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 bam. You've probably got more exposure, I thank you, on that Friday night than you did all year on Facebook.
So the only part that I didn't get was, did they kick the residents paying to be there? Or
yeah. I think it's just $10 to get in because it was a barbecue and entertainment, BYOB.
Because I was on stage the whole time, so I didn't actually get to see how that ran.
And then at 11, they just said, anyone that's got the purple wristband, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's
That
great.
was everyone.
Started at 7, done by 11.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Perfect. 7-11.
I wonder how many of the rooms got robbed.
That's right.
That's a thing rife in
Hostels.
isn't it?
Yeah, but who's stealing the 6-month-old one pair of sock that old mate's got?
I guess the aim is just to steal the show.
Yeah, they're stealing all that milk and chocolate that they've brought from back home.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
My chocolate.
Another update. I'm just going to do. This is pretty much.
Is
for
this fair for
yeah.
us?
Today on the show, we're going to make
Mavis and Bruiser, long-time listeners, listen to a previous podcast.
Long-time listeners, full-time parents.
Yes, listen to the podcast where I was suggesting, do yourself the favour, get yourself a mattress, get yourself a good air conditioner, spend the money on good things that you need. And they went out and took the air conditioning advice
Oh, really?
for their bedroom. It's too bloody hot up here. We do have one of those fans above us, but, Turnstile Records presents the Escape Pod suggests that why the hell not?
And so
the Earth is dying. We're all doomed. So
Not what
might as-
we've been
might as well
talking
be
about,
nice and
Jess.
cool.
That's not what we've been talking about.
I like the fact that you've said something and that's influenced our parents. I'm going to try something.
Oh, yeah.
Give me $40,000.
Okay,
it
yeah,
would be
that'll do
good
it.
for the podcast. Yeah, let's see if they do that.
There's that update. We did do a test, I think, last Sean Enough episode where we were saying who's listening in. Is it the phone? Is it the computer? We'll do some keywords. We'll say some keywords within the podcast that are really random. And if it comes up in our news feeds or whatever, we'll know that someone's listening. And we did say a list of strange words.
Yep.
They didn't come up so much as these ones. Huey Lewis. Yeah, we were talking
Yeah.
about Huey Lewis
Huey
in that
Louis.
episode. Huey
in the
Louis.
Ghost episode.
In the Ghost episode, right?
Yep.
Huey Lewis, Sean Enough sends me a message. I think it was you, Sean.
Yep.
Look at this clip. This is like 2 days ago. Huey Lewis coming out with a new album.
Huey Lewis was in the news.
He was in the news
Yeah.
a week after we said it.
Yep.
Also, the Ghostbuster.
Yep. Coming back.
Coming back.
What are the odds?
Ivan Reichman's son, Jason Reichman, who made the original, who's dead,
Yep.
is making new Ghostbusters with Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and we just done the Ghostbusting.
With them?
Yeah, they're
Really?
in. They're in.
Okay.
They're in.
Cool.
I think Bill Murray's sort of seen that last Ghostbusters movie and said,
Yeah, I don't like women at all, so I want to take that back.
So anyway, whether people are listening, that
Give the
was just-
fans what they want, really.
do it.
Do it. Do it.
I've also heard Eddie Murphy coming back for Jesus Christ. What's
Police
it fucking
Cops
called?
3?
No. What's it fucking called? Coming to America Part 2 with
Oh,
Eddie
really?
Murphy.
Wow.
Okay. What's that character going to be? He learned English and he blended in.
Yeah, and now he's not
Story continues.
Um,
McDonald's sued them.
this one's no good. Timmy calls me last night. This goes out to fellow podcaster Kevin Barnett and comedian in America.
Yeah.
Kevin Barnett
Gentleman
died.
of the round table.
Yes. Funny dude died in Mexico, 31. And I thought that was a bit rough. I was thinking about all the... Because he did like 200 episodes with one of the podcasts.
Yeah.
With all those mates. And I thought, geez, that must be hard to do. You see your mate die, but you've also done 200 episodes with them. So just on the ghost tip, what actually happens if you well, with us, with our voice, with this podcast, and if one of us, God forbid, touched the table, died, does our voice lock us in this limbo and this? Are we sort of forever?
Well, we're forever in the podcast world, so
Does
that's
that
a
make
way
me
of living on.
Does that make me a ghost?
I guess that's a form of.
I think it only works if people listen to it.
Aha.
Yeah, it's Schroders box.
No,
all over
the
again.
last person says your name, isn't it? Something like that. The last.
No, you can't say my name 3 times because otherwise I appear.
Candyman, Candyman, Candyman. Isn't that what that was?
So that's basically my fair for Norse. I did want to get a Sean spooky story update, but maybe we might do that
do that next week. But I know we've got a little something called
Chop Me Out.
And here it is. Timmy's got a couple more scratchies here.
Yeah.
For the Chop Me Out exciting game that we have.
that you need to be in the room to be excited by.
Yeah, you don't have to be in the room to be involved.
No, that's right.
How would you get involved?
You would hit us up on our socials and get involved. And,
Never hit my socials, just for future reference.
I still use them. Yeah. Look, if you want to be chopped out, look, this time we've given you some late notice. I know that the regulars will be chopped in for sure. We know who they are. You know who you are. Let's try our luck.
And this is basically, if you haven't heard this before, this is a segment where we buy a scratch-off ticket or a scratchy, and because it's a good visual game for an audio podcast, and we scratch away. Sean does, and we will if we win something. We choose a random listener's name and we chop them out.
Yeah, they get cut into the deal.
Yep. And chopped out as it was.
So Sean's over there scratching. How does a bic go when you're scratching that on a scratchy? How does it compare to a coin?
It's not quite the same.
Why don't you take a $2 coin, which doesn't work quite well. It doesn't have the sharp edges, I find. But,
does that boost your luck if you scratch with a gold coin?
I see what you're saying. Well, if you,
Keep scratching.
That'd be the way it works, wouldn't it?
It would
If you've got a gold coin, you're less likely to need the money.
It sounds like the good luck charm of an old lady. You know, oh no, you've got to use a gold coin, love.
Gotta use the threepence.
Yep. Otherwise, doesn't work.
So, look, Tim. While old mate's scratching away over there, I would like to. I got a friend a job via a reference.
So basically, you're Batman.
Basically. But I was wondering what's with the reference. They called me up yesterday, asked me about her. I gave her a good heads up.
Yep.
But if it doesn't work out, do I got to pay a fine or something as a referee?
If it's fraudulent, if it's a fraudulent endorsement.
Well, yeah.
Does that come back on you?
Do I go on a list of shitheads?
I don't know.
Because Dad hired that dirty klepto scrag via reference.
Okay.
Like, can he call that guy later on and say, "Hey, man,
yeah,
she's a thief. You've taken food out of my baby's mouth."
Yeah.
Why, man? Why?
Can you do that?
Can you do that?
And is it? And if it is kept on record, where are those records kept?
That's how people get promoted. You get promoted upward.
Yes, usually.
So that scrag, the scrag, that's not right, is it? No, but that scrag was stealing out of the last place. And because all the rules, you're not allowed to just fire someone. If you can sniff them out from a mile away, going, she's definitely fucking taking money, man.
Okay, so
I've got to get rid of her.
Are you saying it's my civil duty to go to her new employer and say, I don't know if your reference has told you, but I'm going to give you one hell of a reference right now. She's a thief.
Yeah. A dirty, klepto, thieving scrag.
How you going over there, Sean enough?
We've come up zilch. We've got nothing this week, guys.
Well, that's another chop me out over.
Look, it builds the tension up. You never know if everyone's got to try it out.
And look, while everything's getting scratched off, we get to hear great stories.
We do.
That's
great,
right.
Great little side bits.
Tidbits.
I get to scratch a scratchy, which is fun.
Yeah, that's good. That's
And
good.
it gives him the feels of maybe this is going to be the time that someone gets chopped out.
nearly
It could be
did.
pretty exciting.
How
Nearly
close did we come?
We came really close to winning $15. Well,
Oh,
I thought
okay.
so
Not bad.
anyway.
That would have been a good chop out.
Yep.
So Turnstile Records would have got $7 or something. And...
Yeah, well, we could have bought a packet of transfer paper and made some T-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
So you got to think bigger, boys.
You do.
Maybe we should have a meeting.
Reinvest.
We should.
Hey, I've been reading The Barefoot Investor.
Oh, it's all the rage.
First,
Everyone's...
step one: take your shoes off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Does
you
he
can-
say that in the book? Is there any reference to actually taking your shoes off?
I don't know.
Is it like
oh,
the
man,
naked...
read it again.
Is
I
it
don't
like
know.
the
He's got a
naked
big,
chef?
long-winded
Or...
introduction.
First thing is, take your pants off.
I just want to know that it's not a cult because everyone that I talk to
It's
that's
pretty
read the
basic.
book
He's trying to get you into a cult.
pretty handy. You
Oh,
can-
you're a barefoot investor. You've got to take your shoes off, man. Take your shoes off.
You can condense it all down into spend less than you earn.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so save your money, you
Yeah.
dickhead.
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought of that. Yeah, maybe I should keep my shoes off for a bit longer. I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look, in the same street of savings and loans, let's save all this banter for next week.
Yeah.
And why don't we take a week's break? Take a good hard look at ourselves.
Yep.
And let's reconvene here
Time for some
next week.
reflection.
All right.
And references. If you want a reference, you can call us up.
And on behalf of Turnstile Records presents the Escape Pods, thank you for listening. I'm Timmy Taco.
I'm jezbot.
I'm Sean Enough.
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button. The ship will self-destruct in exactly 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Who are you? One pod left. And the three of us.
The escape pod. The escape pod.
What if there are droids in the escape pod? The sensors wouldn't pick them up.
Escape pod sounds really nice. Well, boys, it's a very lovely ship. I think you should look out. Goodbye.